you were great back there.
You weren't so bad yourself.
It still isn't over.
Aren't you the sweetest space toy I ever met?
I love you.
I know.
Hey, I'm Parker, and we're in the 4th week of this series called What is Love? And today, we're talking about dating. And to talk to you all about dating, we gotta hop in a time machine and go back to when I was in 7th grade science class. And it wasn't chemistry, but there was some chemistry happening in this class.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
There was a girl named Jen, and I had the world's biggest crush on this girl. And like most 7th grade boys who have all the game in the world, I did nothing about it. I was terrified of her. I didn't look at her. I didn't talk to her much. I was like so scared, but I was so all about this girl. And then one day, my life changed forever. Someone tapped me on the shoulder as I was like daydreaming about something not science related. And they slide me this little piece of paper. And back in the day, if you wanted to talk to someone in class, you had to like, with a mechanical pencil, write things down on paper on a note and then like get it to that person.
I'm old, Gandalf.
And so I get this note and it has my name on it. It says Parker with a little heart on it. I'm like, oh, what could this be? Oh my gosh. And I open the note and it's a letter from Jen asking me to be her date to the school dance that was coming up in a few weeks. What in the world is happening? My life is forever changed. We go to the dance together. We have the time of our lives. We slow dance. And then that night, on like an actual phone, I called her and was like, yo, Jen.
That you
You wanna be my girlfriend? And she said yes. And I was still so nervous and I was like, okay. And I hung up the phone. And I know what you're thinking, like, when is the wedding? When is the wedding? Yeah, I don't know. We were in love. And is there a more electric feeling in life than having a crush and someone pick you and choose you? Like, it's an amazing feeling. And things started really strong, but they didn't stay there. And they didn't stay there because Jen and I made a mistake where we built our entire foundation of our happiness and our lives on each other. And we stopped talking to our friends, we stopped hanging out with other people, and we only spent time with each other. And I was just doing what I saw on TV and what everyone around me was doing, where love was this thing where it's this intense feeling and it's about someone doing something for you. That's what we see today. That's what we see on TikTok is we have this lie that, man, if someone chooses me, if someone picks me, if someone selects me, then I will be enough, and that hole in my heart and in my identity will be filled because this person validates me. And that's a recipe for epic failure. Anytime that we build our lives and our identity on something other than God, we are gonna crush that other person because that's a weight that none of us were meant to carry. We weren't built to carry that weight, only God is. And I was really only just doing what I saw on TV and what I saw people around me doing. And what I thought was love wasn't actually love, it was affection and attraction. And attraction is a spark. It's a spark, but it's not like a foundation to actually build your relationship on. Like, it's cool to think that someone's cute, that's a good thing, but being cute doesn't actually tell me if they're like a good person or if they have character or if they're right for me in that moment. And I think that's what love is like today, in today's world. Even on TikTok, like everything we see, love is this really intense feeling, and it's all about what someone can do for me. What can they do for me? How can they make me feel? And what happens is we put someone in the place of where God belongs. We build our life on someone else, making us happy and fulfilling the deepest desires and holes in our heart and our identity. And we do that, we crash and burn because that's a weight that only God can carry. When you put that weight on someone else, that's a weight that they could never carry, and they're gonna collapse, and you're probably gonna rush into things. You're probably gonna compromise. You're probably gonna make mistakes, and you're probably gonna crash and burn and end up in a place you don't wanna be because you put your ultimate trust and worth in someone else. There's this lie that if someone likes me, if someone will just like choose me and pick me, I will be enough and I will be fulfilled. And that's just not true. That's something that only comes when we build our life on Jesus and who he says we are and his definition of love. The Bible talks about love, and the Bible is our ultimate standard of truth. And so there's this guy named Paul. He's this early leader in the church, and he's writing these letters to church communities of early Christians, just like all of us. And he's trying to tell them what it looks like to follow Jesus, what love looks like. And he writes this letter in 1 Corinthians, and here's what it says. He says, love is patient, love is kind, love does not envy, love does not boast, it's not proud, it keeps no record of wrongs, it always protects, always trusts, always hopes, and always perseveres. I love that. Real love is safe. It's slow. It's committed. It's not jealous. It honors boundaries. It's not self-seeking. Simply put, real love looks like the person of Jesus. And real love comes when we allow ourselves and our hearts and our desires to be shaped not by like TikTok or what our friends are doing, but by God's definition of love. And here's my challenge for you all. My challenge for you all this week is to put your name in that verse. Read that chapter again, and where it says love, put your name in there. And could anything be said about you that's true in that? Are you even close on that list? And there's no judgment, because me for most of my life was not even close. I was not patient. I was not kind. I was not humble. I was not trustful. None of those things. And that's why most of my dating relationships like crashed and burned and were a disaster, because I was building my foundation on this other person, not on God and what he said about love. And things changed later in life. I didn't marry Jen. We didn't get married. I'm married now to Audrey. And when we met, I was much more the person that I needed to be. I wasn't perfect, for sure. Like, there's still things today on that list that I struggle to be, but I built my foundation on Jesus and who he says I am and his definition of love, and things went so different for me. We also started hanging out as friends first. That was like a huge tip for us. Starting out as friends and not having the pressure of trying to be perfect and impress the person and be this like amazing person, and just being friends, that was a huge thing for me. So today's challenge, man, what if you didn't build your life on someone else? What if you didn't put that weight on someone else that they can't carry, and instead build your foundation on God and let him change you into the person that might be worth dating? Maybe being ready. Like, if you're honest with yourself, in middle school, I was not ready. You might not be ready, but you can become more of the person that the person you're looking for might want to date. And I'm not saying don't date anyone. I'm not saying don't have a crush. Having a crush is amazing. It's so fun, but don't make it an obsession like I did. You will fail. And hang out with friends and groups of people. If you're dating someone, like, hang out in groups of people, hang out around their parents and your parents, and see how they interact in different scenarios, and see if they're like actually a really good person for you, or if they're just trying to impress you and trying to put on a good show. And lastly, talk to a trusted adult. Talk to a coach, talk to someone in your life that's been a middle schooler, that's dated someone before, that is further along in their following Jesus and looks more like Jesus. So my challenge for you all, the truth for you all today, is that you don't have to have a boyfriend or a girlfriend to start loving someone well now. You can start building your life on the foundation of God and his idea of love, so that when the time comes and you start dating someone, you can stand firm.